How's everything going so far? Good? You feel like you're getting prepared to become a knight?
Mm-hmm.
And you save the world?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Alright, so, maybe if you can move this over a little bit and put this right here for you so you can write anything down from what we're going to talk about. And your pen, yeah. Use your pen. Okay, so, does this look familiar to you? Kind of, yeah. Do you remember the list of all of the family crests that was sent to you? Okay, good. How about you point out something on here and we'll talk about what its name is and what it means.
Lion. In the picture it had like a flying lion.
Yeah, so these lions are called supporters of a family crest. And so you'll always find these around holding up this area of the family crest. And sometimes they're animals and sometimes they're just cool designs, but these lions, they mean something in the family crest. So we're going to talk about that more in a little bit. What are some other elements of the family crest that you noticed in all the ones I gave you in this?
I saw that every family had a helmet representing the knight.
Yeah, that's great. Why do you think that a knight would have a helmet on his family crest?
To protect his face.
Yeah, exactly. They have to have armor to protect them. So the helmet was used in the family crest to show that they were part of the knightly order, that they were a knight and that they were loyal to the king.
I also saw that each one had a shield right here.
Yeah, that's great. They also have a shield for part of their armor, and they would use the shield in the family crest also to show that they were part of the knightly order. So there's a few other elements that are kind of small but that are attached to the helmet, and this one is called the torse, and that is something that they would put in their helmet to kind of cushion their head so that if anyone hit them in the head, the metal wouldn't hit them first. It would be a little bit of a cushion, and so it would be ribboned tied together that they would put in their helmet, and so they included it in their family crest. The colors would give a meaning about them, so it would tell them if they were kind of like what you need for armor. They would say like the blue means loyal or something like that.
So black, red means courage, white means purity, and blue means loyalty.
Yeah, that's great. You already know so much about the colors. And then they also would have on top of the helmet, they called it the crest, and that's also where you would find animals that would symbolize some values that they had on top of there. And let's see, what else is on here that you noticed that was in the other ones?
Look, like the part right here, it had like vines and flowers going.
Yeah, that's great. That was also included as kind of part of the support here for the family crest. And they also had these ribbons here to put their family name and their motto. So it would be, a motto is like a phrase that their family had.
Yeah.
You know that? Okay. Do you have a motto?
Never give up.
That's great. You can include that in your own family crest because we're going to make one to put on your shield. Perfect. Yeah, write that down. Perfect. Okay, so all of the things that we talked about in this family crest are shown in different family crests, so they're always there. They're defining characteristics of the family crest. But one thing we're going to focus on is the shield, because every knight needs a shield to protect him, right? So I have brought a shield for you to make. It is, but just imagine it as metal. It'll protect you. Okay, so you can hold on to this, but with this shield, one thing that's missing in this family crest is the coat of arms. Do you know what the coat of arms is? Okay, so the coat of arms is symbols that knights would put on their shields to show their achievements, things that they're good at and values that they have. So I saw that you had written down some values to help protect you.
Strong armor, trustworthy, loyal, brave, courageous, willing, safe, never give up.
Perfect. So there's some symbols that I have here that we're going to talk about that you can place those values with. So back in the day, they would use these symbols to represent some of those things that you put on your list. So let's talk about some of the things here and what you think the value might be that goes with them, okay? So what do you think a bird might symbolize?
Freedom, because birds can fly free.
Yeah, that's great.
Freedom.
In the scriptures, they talk about a dove.
Mm-hmm.
What does a dove sometimes symbolize?
Well, I know Noah's Ark took a dove, and so it's really good at showing things. Like in Noah's Ark, he would show when the water was down, because if they opened the door, it would flood it.
And it gave them hope, right? When they saw the dove come back, it said that told them that there was land, right? So the dove symbolizes hope and purity.
Well, when he didn't come back, that would mean that it was because he would have came back if there wasn't any place to land.
Oh, you're right, you're right.
But if there was like a tree or a place to land, he would have never come back.
That's true.
Came back.
That's good. So that one symbolizes hope and purity. Is that something that you might want to put on your own family crest? So, what about a dog? What are some things that you've noticed about dogs?
They're really good friends.
Yeah, they're great friends. They're always your friend, right? Even if you have to go away to school and you come home, they still are happy and they want to be your friend, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're really loyal. So a dog on a shield or on a coat of armor a lot of times would mean that the knight was very loyal. What about a lion? What do you think a lion?
Powerful.
Yeah, that's great. That's exactly what it is. Powerful.
Because lions are king of beasts.
Yeah, that's great. That's exactly right. So do you think it's important as a knight to have power in a good way? Yeah, that's good. What do you think a snake represents?
Well, no, snakes are really good at secretive.
Yeah, they're kind of mysterious, huh? And they're very sly. They know how to sneak up, right? So a snake can represent wisdom. They're smart. Alright. And sometimes they didn't just use animals and reptiles, but they also used symbols like the moon. So what do you think the moon could represent on a coat of arms?
Well, in the night, I'm talking about the sky kind of night, the moon is always really bright.
Yeah.
So that would probably be smart.
Yeah, and it also, because of the light, because you've heard of like the light of Christ, right? And how it's hope, so it can also be hope as well. And what about an ant? I know you've learned about insects and how an ant is an insect recently. What do ants do?
Always work together.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's exactly what it is. He's a great worker. So that's something that knights might put on their crest if they're hard workers. Perfect. Okay, there's a couple more. What about a duck? What are some things that a duck does? They swim, and they can run, and they can fly too, right?
Lots of ways to move around.
Yeah, so they are really good at a lot of things. So a knight would put that on their shield if they had multiple talents.
athletic ability.
Yeah, exactly. So that
Ducks can like they can swim, they can run, they can fly. All different ways to move around.
Oh yeah, perfect. So that is exactly what a duck represents. Perfect. And what about a fish? What does a fish do that might symbolize a value? It's kind of tough, but I think you can get
it. They're very powerful swimmers.
Yeah, and they all swim with their family, right?
So
they're very family oriented. Like sticking together.
Stay in groups.
Yep, perfect. And then in the helmet of the family crest, it showed that they were part of the knightly order. But what else do you think a helmet could mean? What's something that a knight has to have to be a good knight? They have to be smart? Yeah. So a lot of times a helmet will also mean, if they put it on their shield, that they have a lot of wisdom.
And I already have wisdom.
Perfect. So this is just another way that they would symbolize wisdom. So what are, from these symbols, what ones do you think you would want to include on your shield? Based on some of the things that they represent.
I probably feel athletic, so I'd probably like to put the duck.
Perfect. If you want to, you can just cut it out. If you want to do that. And you can put as many as you want to on your...
How many would fit?
I think a lot would fit on there, but which ones do you think are the most important to you? Let's put the most important ones on your shield.
Probably the ants,
hard workers.
And they always stick together.
Good.
Like a colony of ants.
So why do you think knights put these symbols and put their coat of arms on their shield?
To show their meaning.
Exactly. And they carried around everywhere they went, right? So that they had that armor with them and that they could show others what values they had and that they were important to them. So I think it... Okay. And kind of like what you talked about with your armor and with your weaponry, but a shield is also used to protect you, right? So a knight needed that in battle to protect him from someone else's weapon hitting him. But today, what do you think a shield can protect you from?
Trials.
Trials, yeah, that's great. What are some examples of shields that you use to prepare you for a trial? What are some things you do? Do you read your scriptures?
How about a good testimony?
Yeah, that's great. That's exactly right.
Duck.
Before we glue this on though, let's get some color into your shield. Okay. So I have a bunch of colors here.